Kuya, can I ask a question? About sa language development, yung tungkol sa bilingualism. Napag-aralan niyo na yun, di ba?
Actually, pumapasok yun sa topic namin na Linguistic and Literacy Development for Children and Adolescents.
Yun nga, kuya. Can you enlighten me about it?
So, according to Kierakobos and Chan, language development is a complex dynamic process influenced by child's age, language exposure, and social interaction. A bilingual child generally follows one of the two language acquisition patterns. One is the simultaneous bilingualism, and the second is sequential bilingualism. So first is simultaneous bilingualism, wherein the children go through two stages to simultaneously learn two languages. Stage 1 is where the children mix or blend words or part of words from both languages. Example is child saying, I want hat.
Gusto ko ng hat.
Then at the second stage, the child can distinguish two languages and can use each language separately.
Gusto ko ng sombrero. I want hat.
The second is sequential bilingualism. So according to Kierakobos and Chan, the process of developing a second language before 3 is slightly different from a process of developing the first language. There are three reasons for so. First is a sequential bilingual child can draw on the knowledge and experience from the first language. The second is whether and for how long a child passes through several phases in sequential language acquisition process. It depends on the child's temperament and motivation. The last is the relative exposure to second language. Compared with the first one, it can affect how the child develops the second language.
I get it na, kuya. Sige, una na ako.
Further understand, I will tell you about the reading development and performance. Many educators believe that both learning to read and learning to write begins at the same time. Playing, talking to children, reading stories, and singing are some of the activities that will facilitate the development of reading and speaking. Reading development in early childhood can be divided into three stages. These are the emergent, early, and accomplished stages. Each stage of development requires different teaching strategies. The first stage is called the emergent readers. This is where the children enjoy listening to books and enjoy repeated readings of their favorite stories.
Wow!
They also like their retelling of simple narratives. And this is the stage where they begin to understand that it is the print that carries out the message. The second stage is called the early readers. Children at this age of development have started to develop these behaviors and knowledge, like providing practice for identifying the unknown words in meaningful text.
Sabi ni Mama, mag-practice daw.
Giving new words in context of meaningful reading, and they are being introduced to new words in the context of meaningful text. The last stage is what we call the accomplished readers. Accomplished readers have also developed behaviors and knowledge in a far more advanced level.
Flynn takes Rapunzel to see the floating lanterns. Suddenly, Rapunzel realizes she is a princess.
And these readers have now greater fluency in reading or speaking. The said behaviors include accurately reading many irregular spelled words, spending time reading daily, and they are provided with opportunities for independent reading from a range of different types of texts. Take note, a child's reading development varies from one another. It is important for parents and teachers to determine the child's capacity and provide the necessary and appropriate learning methods to properly facilitate their development. Moving on with our next topic. Anyway, moving on to...
Pwede ba ako mag-CR muna?
Yes, you may use the restroom.
Hey, Darwin went to the bathroom, and your group still have two parts to discuss. Can you discuss what is the child stage of reading development?
Child stage of reading development. So, Dr. Jean Child developed model of stages of reading development. According to his model, a learner should acquire the characteristics and should master the skills required in each stage, and the lack of this can halt the progress of a learner beyond that level. So let's start. Stage 0, pre-reading or pseudo reading. The age for this stage is 6 months to 6 years, and the characteristics and masteries by the end of the stage is the child pretends to retell story when looking at pages of book previously read to him.
Look
Look
at
at
these
these
mad
mad
people.
people.
Names letters of alphabet, recognize some signs, prints own name, plays with books, pencils, and paper. Next stage is stage 1, or initial reading and decoding. The age for this stage is 6 to 7 years old. The characteristics of the child is that she or he learns relation between letters and sounds and between printed and spoken words. Child is able to read simple text containing high-frequency words and phonetically regular words, uses skills and insight to sound out new one-syllable words. And these are acquired by direct instruction in letter-sound relations and practice in their use. Reading of simple stories using words with phonic elements taught and words of high frequency, being read to on a level above what a child can read independently to develop more advanced language patterns, vocabulary, and concepts. The next stage is stage 2, confirmation and fluency. The age for this stage is 7 to 8 years old, where the child read simple familiar stories and selection with increasing fluency. This is done by consolidating the basic decoding elements context in the reading of familiar stories and selection.
Angel Gabriel told Mary that the Holy Spirit will overshadow her and she will birth Jesus, God's only Son.
So this is acquired by direct instruction in advanced decoding skills, wide reading of familiar interesting materials that help promote fluent reading, being read to at levels above their own independent reading level to develop language, vocabulary, and concepts. The next stage is stage 3, reading and learning. So the age for this stage is 9 to 13 years old, and the mastery shown is that reading is used to learn new ideas, to gain new knowledge, to experience new feelings, to learn new attitudes, and generally from one viewpoint and reacting to the text through discussion, answering question, writing, etc. Reading of increasingly more complex text.
Hey Ron, do you know the formula on how to get the range?
Oh, as far as I can remember, it is the highest value minus the lowest value. But wait, let's search it.
Oh, okay.
And now, stage 4, multiple viewpoints. The age for this stage is 15 to 17 years old. The mastery shown is reading widely from a broad range of complex materials, both expository and narrative, with a variety of viewpoints. And these are acquired by wide reading and the study of physical and biological and social science and the humanities, high quality and popular literature, newspaper and magazines, systematic study words and word parts. And the last stage is stage 5, construction and reconstruction. The age for this stage is 18 years old and above, so that's college and beyond. The mastery shown in this is that reading is used for one's own needs and purposes, may it be professional and personal. Reading serves integrate one's knowledge with that of the others, to synthesize it and to create new knowledge. It is rapid and efficient. So this is acquired by wide reading of ever more difficult materials, reading beyond one immediate needs, writing papers, tests, essays, and other forms that call for integration of varied knowledge and points of voice. Factors affecting language development. Number 1. Early language stimulation. Parent and caregiver can help the development of child's communication through natural and everyday activities. These activities are playing and talking to the child. In fact, most of the message we convey are done through nonverbal means, such as body gestures, facial expression, body language, eye contact, and touch. So, one of the factors that affects early language stimulation is not talking to your child. So, parents and soon-to-be parents, talk to your child like how Ron talks to his baby Maria.
Did you know that this is a flower?
A flower,
And this one is a ball.
a ball,
Oh. This one is a dirty cup.
a dirty cup.
You see? Look how responsible a father Ron is. Very good. The next factor is literate communities and environment.
Literate communities and environment. The literacy-rich environment emphasizes the importance of speaking, reading, and writing in learning development. This involves the selection of materials that will facilitate language and literacy opportunities, reflection and though regarding classroom design, and intentional instruction and facilitation by teachers and staffs.
So the next one is story reading.
Story reading. Story reading plays a vital role in child's literacy and language development. The book he reads and the character he gets to know can become like their companion. It is good for children to understand the book are a useful source of knowledge. Reading also builds child's self-confidence, help to cope with his feelings and stimulate the developmental language and learning.